And we're live. Welcome in, everyone. I can see a few of you were already here waiting. Hopefully, you can hear me. I think my audio is working. Feel free to type a GM in the chat if you can hear me. I've had problems with this before, but I think everything is up and working well. Anyone? No? Once I know for sure you guys can hear me, I'll get started, but I cannot tell. Dennis, can you hear me? GM, you guys can hear me? Yes? Okay, you guys can hear me. Fine. Okay, now I can get started. Thank you for somebody confirming that the audio is working. All right, we're refreshing. We're starting these back up. I think the last stream we did was the last time the market looked good, which was like June or July. But we've got some new faces signing up for chainEDGE. We've got people that maybe were around and gambling when things were really good back in February and March, and maybe just want to get up to speed on kind of the best ways to use chainEDGE. So I'll cover that today. Also, you can drop any questions in either the YouTube chat. We're also live on Twitter, I'm pretty sure. So drop any questions so I'm not just yapping the whole time. The most exciting thing we've shipped, it's both alerts have been money makers, has been the portfolio alerts, which I'm sure everyone that's at least in the chat has probably seen and used. Misha was the last ping, and that was at 3.89 going to 18 million, and then XMW was at 3.7, and that is at like 6 and change now, so almost a 2x on that one too. For the people that have alerts already set up, it will just come straight into your Telegram. So, and it will look like, I wonder if I can show it. Probably not. Anyway, you don't have to use the alerts, but the number one thing, I'll say this every stream going forward, is when tokens show up in the 0 to 5 day range and get a 100K balance, this is where good things happen, right? When Misha hit 100K, it was at 3 and change, and it ran to if Vitalik didn't come out and say he didn't have a dog, it would probably still be running. XMW, same thing. Mudeng on Sol was the last one to hit that too, and it went straight to 20 million. That is like the simple way of trying to find, between 1 to 5 million tokens going to 20 million plus. And we've seen it over and over in tokens, especially on Sol. So like Billy, this is Billy, definitely hit it very early on, as did SCF. You can even go back on the Daily Edge and watch me mention it on SCF. Then on WDog, same thing. And then on Flog, same thing. Then on Mooding, same thing. And that's also, you can tell I'm doing this with the attention chart, which is just absolutely money, even though it looks like a mess. This is the hive mind of crypto Twitter, as well as it uses DEX volumes. And you can see the rotations, right? Like, I don't know if you can see my cursor. I think you can. It's like purple, Billy to SCF, SCF to WDog, WDog back to SCF, and then Flog. And then, kind of those three jostling for position. And then you had Mude. It's like, this is the easiest way to see which coin's like really in the limelight. There's smaller ones that also will show up in here too and look good, like Aura. Like usually when things retain attention like this and then start to respike, they can do well. Um, you can also usually see, let me go back to all, and you'll see if Vista is still in here, you'll definitely be able to see a peak. Nope, Vista's already out of the top attention tokens. Anyway, the attention score is probably my favorite thing we've shipped because it's not just smart money. It only uses a little bit of smart money data and other on-chain analytics, but primarily it's volume and crypto Twitter mentions. Like this is, like good things happen. Like every single day in the Daily Edge, I write about tokens with strength. At least 40% of them every single day are something in this top 10 list. And tokens that stay in here longer always seem to just keep on going. So when let's say you aped XMW on the new launch and now it's finally in here, like that's a real good sign. Because the things with attention also seem to just not die. So as they have attention for a long period of time, they just don't go straight to zero versus things where you don't have people talking about them, which you can also search this, which is pretty cool. So you can search XMW and see, oh, okay, people are talking about it. Like, these, instead of trying to use the Twitter and seeing all the spam and garbage of people talking about this token, for example, like this is crypto Twitter. So these are all people that have tons of mutual overlaps in followings. Like these are real people, like instead of some of the bots or low follower count accounts that could show up. Yeah, I mean, you can search this thing for any token and see what people are seeing. There's also these summarizers. You can't see, I don't think you can see them on the stream, but these are actually really cool too. So I'll actually go through an example because it also lives on the token pages. Let's see if I can pull this up. But yeah, as always, you can ask questions the whole time through. My screen looks a little delayed, but anyway, I have the at least the YouTube looks delayed, but the Twitter looks fine. So like this is Misha. Like you can literally see, the summary of all of these tweets, what people are saying. For meme coins, it obviously it doesn't have a ton of value. Unless someone makes like some sort of bold claim, but it's summarizing people talking about like this, like exit Misha, like this is probably worth looking into. And these are on each token page and can be real helpful. But on more real tokens where they're discussing like what it does, actual statistics of the project, like those will be in the tweet summaries as well. Which are pretty useful. And that's like another feature that I don't think a lot of people have checked out. But yeah, so from the top, the attention score is the easy place. Like all these things are usually bigger. This is where runners are made. You can always isolate these to be ETH only or SOL only. If it has attention, good things happen. Like all the tokens, as soon as they've shown up in here, like it's good things happen. Like you don't need to be on Twitter because this is literally the stream of like 10,000 crypto Twitter accounts and what they're talking about along with volume. So that's the attention score. I laid out some thoughts in the email that I sent to basically everybody yesterday. But you're looking for like the best launches are like, attention spikes, starts to recede, and then starts spiking again. You'll see 100K holdings the same like the whole time through. Like those two things together, and it's usually off to the races. Like Mudang, it had this little, like if you isolate it, it's like had a little bit of attention that's like accelerating attention. So it's like if you bought anywhere in here and sold at this attention peak, you definitely made money. So that's the attention score. You can use it both for existing tokens and new launches. I went through the portfolio alerts, which you can also kind of do manually, which is just 0 to 5 day tokens on Ether, Sol, and at least 100K of balance. I mean, most people will still run for new launches alpha stream filters, something like 300K. They're buying at least 1,500 and 3 wallets or something like that. And if you're looking for newer tokens, you could go like 0 to 5. So there's a bunch of buys on this Tigra. Pretty big buys too. And I mean, these are real, look at these P&L wallets. These are real good wallets. Million P&L, 500K P&L. I actually haven't been watching, but I wonder how that token's done because that looks pretty good. Oh yeah, very good. 413. Yeah. But those are existing features. We're still working on fleshing out parts of this, but we have token pre-approval. So when people are pre-approving snipes on Maestro and Banana Gun, this isn't completely done, so this one's still in beta. But the market hasn't been amazing for snipes. But when you do see things in here, like I don't know if this is the one that did well, but once this is completely ready, this will be an easy place to see potential sniping targets. But that one is still a little bit work in process. This early investors is also pretty cool. So you can look at, people that were early to, both of these were like kind of Cabali tokens, right? So that's Pew and RCH. And what this does is it looks at people that held this, maybe like an hour post launch, because most of these things didn't go just in a line straight up. And wallets that are typically early are not holders, right? They buy, they sell. Like within the first hour, they are gone. So for someone to actually be holding this an hour or so in, likely made money, likely knew it was going to go up for some reason or another. And that's why, this feature can be pretty cool. And so you can cross-reference this. Right now, it's just tokens that have been super profitable over the last 6 months. I think we're going to broaden this out. But, I mean, you could have seen, I ran this yesterday and you saw like Misha and Wojak were really big ones. Right now, it's Neurogenus. This FAC is another big one that I'm seeing, especially today. Don't know what that is, but it kind of gives you, this flying avocado cat, obviously. Oh yeah, and look at that. It's just been going straight up. So that's another cool feature. I haven't used enough to have a tried and true method, but it's definitely worth playing around with because you will see, it's giving you a view of tokens outside of, like all the wallets that are in, this frame may not be within chainEDGE. And so it's kind of giving you a different look. I think we'll also roll this out for Solana soon too. But that one's pretty cool. We've got some more stuff in the works. And then, I mean, smart follows, I went over it a couple times, but again, it's like all of these things are similar-ish to other tools that are out there, and they're all extreme, they're much more expensive than ours, and we added them in for free. So you're getting incredible value. But yeah, smart follows is good for finding upcoming launches or projects that are early and getting attention, like Lemon Rocks launched Tigra is Vitalik's cat, even though he says he doesn't have any dogs or cats. We've got Bullet. Yeah, you can see Tiger doesn't have much holdings now, but Lemon does. But anyway, that's the quick and dirty. I mean, I still almost always look at overall holdings and trends in holdings, and then looking at 0 to 5 days. But when you click through some of these pages, you'll see outliers like Wojak, which is one I've been flagging, looks really good. Smaga looks good. I mean, Wojak, if you look at the chart, looks like it's ready to send. Yeah, for sure. But anyway, that's the quick and dirty. I mean, we have got, if you've been in the Discord, we've got a lot of other stuff cooking in the works. But yeah. So if people have questions, you can reach out with questions. You got thoughts, anything that's confusing. For anyone that's new, there's obviously, there's certain things you can do. I've talked about before, which is like you can go to the bottom of these, either the ETH or Solana pages, and look through the top P&L trades and see, someone that made a killing on Ether Vista that's not a sniper, like this Gem Spotter, right? You could click that wallet and dive into, oh yeah, it must have been a fresh wallet because all their P&L is Ether Vista. But usually you can find potentially interesting wallets going this way, because if someone's making a lot of money on one of these, you can see what else they are up to. It almost has better predictive power on Sol because it seems like the real giant moves in Sol always happen in what feels like a coordinated fashion, and there's a lot of times high overlap with other really big memes. It's just ETH right now, the early investor thing. We'll roll it out to Sol. We just ship things real fast, so ETH was ready, and I want to put it in there. This was before the market was turning around, so I also was just trying to keep people a little engaged with the platform while we kind of waited for things to get better, and now we're kind of there, even though I don't know how things are today. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's off a little, but it's not too bad. But yeah, we will roll it out for Sol, which I think will be really fun. So you can be like, Billy, Billy and Popcat. Like, what are they buying now? It's like, I think that'll be pretty cool. What else? Anything else? Let's see if there's anyone on the Twitter. Doesn't look that way. Yeah, a little bit. This thing looks sendy. But yeah, with our recent additions, I feel like the token pages are now just, there's so many data points that you're getting so easily, right? Because you have links to all of the website, Telegram, Twitter, but now you can look at who's holding it. You can look at what people are saying about it. You got a summary of it. With these meme ones, they actually can be quite entertaining too. Find tokens early in the tension board before they pop. So I put a post in the Discord, but you are looking for the full follow through. So Misha was like early stages of an example. So first things first, you're going to get the portfolio alert of 100K. Like, I don't think there's been one instance of a token not having 100K and starting to surge up the attention score. So for either Sol, you're gonna see either the alert or you'll see it just pop up. It's like, oh, okay, token has, at least it's kind of new, right? It doesn't have to be brand new, but because on new launches, the attention score can surge and then kind of die out. Like, might be too early to see that happening in Misha. But so you're looking for one, it's like 100K balance pops up. Two, it stays at 100K balance. The token still retains its volume and balance, whether it keeps going straight up or if it, it has your typical new launch spike and then falls 70%. Like if volume and 100K of balance stick around and it's anywhere on this attention score, that is a good start. Then you'll probably see it, start out low and then start working its way up the attention score, and then it's going to run. So yeah, like XMW is too new to do it. What's it like? SCF is a good example. So let me pull up when exactly. So we didn't have let me look at when I first mentioned SCF as having 100K of balance. So I'll kind of show you a case study of what this looks like. Okay, here we go. So it looked like it hit 100K of balance like in late July. I'm trying to get the exact date real quick, and then I'll walk through it. See, we didn't have portfolio alerts, so I don't have the exact day. Okay, here we go. Right there. So yeah, like July 23rd or so is around the same time as Miggles actually popped off, it looks like. Okay. So yeah, it actually launched with low attention. Yeah, right in here. So it launched, it hit 100K balance or so right away. And then immediately attention just started to run. Like when attention is expanding, the tokens almost always go up unless attention is going up because a project was hacked or people are making fun of Bowden. Like there's been times where you'll see Bowdens go up because people are laughing at the token. But for the most part, it's like if you see 100K balance and attention is increasing, that's what you're looking for. The other way it can work sometimes is, so SCF was not, I wonder if Fog has it. Yes. So another good example. So this is like the typical new launch pattern, which is it launches with a bunch of attention because that's what new launches do. Attention recedes because people are like, snipers and callers, people that are always early, they traded this already and then they washed out. Then you had this like 2-week period of it's still people are talking about it, right? Like if it is in here, people are talking about it and its relative volume is high. If it forms a bottom like this and starts going up again and it has 100K balance, which it did, that is go time, right? This isn't even that like the token's actually not even that early at that point, right? It's over 2 weeks old. But if you look at the exact dates when it was starting to be party time, like August 22nd, right? You're seeing an attention spike after bottoming out. So August 22nd. So if you would have bought WOG August 22nd and held it to that attention peak, let's see how you did. WOG August, I said 22nd. It was a 12 million market cap that day. And then at this peak down here on August 25th, it was a we got to 63 million market cap, so like a 5x. And then it receded and spiked one more time to September 2nd, which I think was the actual peak of like 90 million. But that's it. That's like the best example of what you're looking for, right? Like if attention retains, bottoms out, starts to accelerate, smart balances still look good. It's like the token's going to run, and that was flawed. Like there's not that many tokens that have a lot of attention. Like their tokens will move for sure, but these big 10 million tokens going to 60 million in 3 days are going to be picked up by this attention score more than anything else. Especially because of the volume included in the way the attention score is actually handled. So hopefully that answers it a little bit. I mean, it's the more you use it, the more you'll kind of get a sense of how to read it. But once you kind of see similar patterns with these new launches, you will, like Billy was the same thing actually. So Billy, it's like big attention receded, spiked again. I think Billy did really well in that period too. So our attention bottomed and started reaccelerating. I mean, you could say like in here, June 29th. Yeah, it was like 60 million market cap. And then, I mean, into any of these peaks like July 8th, it was 190 million. So pretty similar. And it was also, I think when it got to this, that's a big attention score, right? That means it was 30% of all volume and crypto Twitter mentions. Like that's a lot. Like that token's going to go up. Like that is a significant amount of attention. Like that's why these are all scored relatively, because if you put them all against each other, you can see which ones have the most relative volume and relative mentions in crypto Twitter. Like this tool, it like you can look at this every day and actually know what's going on in the market overall. Like if you look at the 1 day, people are still talking about Misha, they're talking about WDOG, SCF, like you see DGen coming back. I don't know why, but I guarantee there's a reason. Barry has held attention because it has went straight up. And then like Lucy is a good example. So if you use the tool a lot, you'll know Lucy had, I think Lucy hit 100 million market cap. Sorry, Lucy hit 100K of smart balances. It was in the attention board for some amount of time. It fell out and it's probably bottoming now. So for Lucy to be back, it probably means it's gonna, if Lucy stays in there, it kind of looks like it may run again. So that's the other thing. Like when things pop up that haven't, like there's usually a pretty standard set of things that are almost always in here, which is like WDOG, SCF, Michi, Mog is usually here. I have no idea why Mog isn't here. When you see things like new launch XMW, when you see things like Lucy showing up in here at DGen that haven't really been here, like something is definitely cooking. You do not have to, I should have said this at the beginning, you do not have to create an alert for the 100K balance. You just have to have the Telegram bot set up, and I think you have to have alerts just generally created, even if they don't ping at all. Yeah, portfolio alert bot is live. Oh, I don't know if I can share the tab. I don't think I can. But yeah, I mean, we've had two alerts go out so far since we've launched these to everybody, which was Misha at sub 4 million and XMW at sub 4 million. So they come out late. So if you really like being early and you want to invest in 50K market cap coins, you're not going to love portfolio alerts. But both of them have made money because 100K balance does not happen very often. And we've seen it time and time again where a consistent 100K balance early in the token's life cycle is the best predictor of token returns that I've created within chainEDGE. There's a lot of other things, that can get you early, this and that. But for things that are not going to die and that are going to keep attention and keep running, 100K balance is it. And if you look at both those tokens, I mean, Misha, obviously, Vitalik killed it. But before that, it was like it was going to go to 100 million. And it's still at 6. So it's still even in the money from our alert after going from 13 to 3 million. And then XMW, same thing, has actually just been relatively strong. It was like at 7 million a little while ago. But yeah, we made it so you don't have to customize them so that it's just stupid easy. Like you're not going to miss them. Like if you've got the Telegram bot set up, you can set up, I think I'm going to have them remove it. So we'll see if you need to have alerts set up or not. But for people that already have the Telegram bot set up and have ever set up an alert, you've received both of these already. But the goal is you don't have to do anything so you don't miss it, because it is the thing that has been working the best. It worked the best when the market was bad. All those winners that I've walked through on the attention score. So like Billy, SCF, W Dog, Moodang, Fwog all hit that. Oh, yeah. Like they all hit it. And then you see them on the attention score. And it's like, oh, if they're that big on the attention score and they stay there, like that's like those two things are together how I use the tool now, which is a big change from 12 months ago when it was all just watching alpha stream flows. Because these flows can be fickle, right? So people, you see all these buys on Donut. Like, I don't know what this is, but especially these snipers, they're in and then they're out. So that's why I really like holdings data and attention data, because it means people are talking about the token. They hold the token. They must have some sort of belief in the token. And you need those things to send something from 1 million, 5 million to 20 million to 100 million. And actually, if you look at the attention score, I mean, almost all of these things that really got big attention scores all hit 100 million, right? So Billy definitely hit 100. SCF, which came next, hit 100. You had a little spike in Mumu, which is this yellow. I'm pretty sure that went to 100 also. Then you had Fwog, which definitely went to 100. W Dog. I don't know if W Dog got there. It did not. But also, it didn't. W Dog didn't have this typical, like W had. If you look, so this is W Dog, right? It had the spike, but then it never had it had a small reacceleration here, which you probably would have made money on because it went from like 10 million to 30 million. But then it's like attention bled out. Now you're seeing a reacceleration, which is probably bullish. All the ones that have kind of had an attention spike and then big swaths of attention retained, which is, you can see it. Those are the ones that have done well. The alpha, I would say for a newbie, I would just stick to attention page and these holdings. And you don't even have to use 0 to 5 days, right? Like if you're more patient, like you can actually take this all the way up to tokens like 50 days or less old and just look at, okay, what has real balances? It's like Barry, good. Doge, good. Misha was good, now not so good. XMW looks good. Kate was actually another one that hit 100K balance. I don't know. Now you're seeing people kind of leave it. I don't know if it's as good. Husby also had its time in the sun, but it's like this is it. Like this is your shopping list of tokens sub 50 days old. Like Sync, I actually was looking at that yesterday. It doesn't look too bad. Like good things are going to happen. Like you're not going to hit. I mean, I've seen it happen, but you're probably not going to hit a 50x if something is in here in size on the holdings page. But like you will make money. Like these are where people have bags. They're working for their bags. They're shilling for their bags. Like this is a happy place. Alpha stream flows can work, and you'll be early, but it's tough. Because you're usually, especially if you're trying to do new launches, a lot of these tokens can just die so quickly. These wallets, while they're high P&L, they are ruthless and they will sell very quickly. Like, that like I had swap, like really wide open swap alerts, and they pinged at like 50K on. I can't remember if it was Misha. Look. It was on Misha. It hit at 50K, but I could sit here and tell you like, oh, well, that's typical performance of those kind of alerts. It's not, and anyone in the chainEDGE Discord can tell you that that's not really typical. So if you want to see 50K tokens, you can set up some alpha stream filters, but you have to kind of build your own intuition and nose for what's not going to die, because your hit rate is not going to be amazing. Now, as the market gets better, the hit rate goes up a lot. Like during Jan, Feb, and March, using alpha stream alerts and custom filters worked really well because there was just so many AI and GPU new launches and 404 launches in February that were just money. Like I remember at the peak of 404 season, every alert that came into my Telegram bot, I just bought because it would go up 3 or 4x right after. So I'd also say this, using these filters and watching the swap flows, is also very market dependent. So if the market isn't amazing, especially if you're looking for new launches, like this is a tough space. Like if you pay attention to this, you'll see every single token come through early. It's just about, you have to be really vigilant about making sure you choose tokens that aren't going to die, because you're dealing with things so early that they have a tendency to try to die. Versus all this holding stuff, and attention score stuff, their propensity to die is way, way lower. So said another way, it's like the alpha stream is higher risk, higher reward. Sticking with balances and attention can still make you 5x's and 10x's. It also probably make you a better trader. And you can put more capital to work too. But it's lower risk, lower reward, but I mean, still better rewards than any other market on earth. So you can also find things early in here. Again, when sometimes you can usually toggle this for projects too. Yeah, there hasn't been that many. When anything like you can actually do coming soon, you can do soon. Like you can see tokens that are about to launch in here. And the smart follows, we took, I think, 500 crypto Twitter accounts that were early to all of our biggest P&L tokens in terms of they were early following it. So either they were seed investors or they just knew it was a runner or they're in the cabal. I don't know, but they know something. And so that's why you can do pretty cool stuff with this too. Like, see, no pre-sales. Like during the pre-sale meta, I don't know if we had this necessarily for the pre-sale meta, but you know, if that comes back, you can search this for pre-sale and you'll find pre-sales, no problem. Yeah, no private sales, but yeah, like launching soon. You know, you can find things where, you know, you can go and do some research and find potential runners. Because most of the new launches, you'll like if I go to the 7-day changes, you know, you'll see things like Morphware had a lot of smart follows. I don't know how Yield Food did. Moodang obviously was a big runner. This Irk weird thing, I have no idea if it did well or not. Yeah, I just answered your question, didn't I, Hermit? But yeah, I mean, I eventually want to play around a little bit with expanding how we do these smart follows, but in general, you know, they follow what seems to matter. There's this cube. It's got a lot of follows today. You also see that this also is kind of market dependent because when the market's dead, you'll see nothing in the 1 day follows. And now you're seeing a lot of new stuff like Lemon Rocks, whatever this ERC cube is. I think it's already live. It kind of looks goofy. They just reduced the supply in some innovative way. Yeah, it's like a 50K market cap. I don't know. But anyway, if you're hyper online, like there's like if you are trading this space 24/7, like you could sit in this tool. Like what somebody said it in the Discord yesterday. It's like you know everything that's going on without ever leaving this because you'll see the big tokens popping all over the attention page. You can see where people are positioned on the balances page. You can see what's coming up to launch next in the smart follows. Like my favorite smart follows story that I always talk about was Yai. I flagged it over and over and over to everyone that, you know, this was still whatever 6 months ago. But I was flagging, I'm seeing smart follows. I'm seeing smart follows. Then it was like, Yai said we're launching tomorrow. I'm like, hey, everyone, Yai's launching tomorrow. It's got a lot of smart follows. Something weird's going to, like, seems kind of interesting. And then I got my first alert for Yai at like 400 or 500K and I bought 1% of the supply and it went, I mean, I sold it too early, but you know, like that is how, especially when things are a little on the goofier side, like that is how you want to be positioned. So then if you know what's coming through the hopper in terms of upcoming launches, you already like the project, you've got your alpha stream alert set up, and then it comes through on the token that you've been waiting for and you knew it was coming today, then it's like you don't have to research anything. You can just fire from the hip. That's a little more an advanced strategy, but that is definitely a way people use, you know, kind of some of these features all together. I also think as new launches heat up, you'll see a lot more, especially because we have just a couple more things to wrap up. But in these pre-approvals, like when things get a lot of pre-approvals, that means a lot of people are trying to snipe it. And usually it's a pretty good indicator of, you know, it's going to be, you know, a launch that could be worth sniping. Are you thinking about meme meta at all during trading? Like I'm still I I think memes are better. I think everyone clowning on memes, uh, like if you look, it's kind of in a bifurcation actually. If you look at what's been working, like in terms of real like centralized exchange coins, it's been Popcat as a meme, and then it's been like more real projects like Sui and Phantom and Tau. But like on chain, it's still been it's memes again. It's SCF starting to pop off. I mean, you saw like you've seen two launches on ETH that like came out at around the same time with kind of similar setups, which was Misha and XMW. And it's like Misha was going to be like a straight shot to 100 million if Vitalik didn't kill it. So I like think about the meme man. It's like I still prefer memes now because memes aren't, especially the older the meme gets, like the longer the meme's gonna live because it just starts turning into Teflon and you've got a community. We saw what can happen to utility projects in late April of this year when they all just go down 90% because it's all like the same teams and it's the same cabals, etc. So I still prefer memes. Like if you look at the attention score, it's the ETH utility outliers, and then it's look Misha meme, WDog meme, SCF meme, Moodang meme, Mog meme, Fwog meme, Billy, Michi, Mumu memes, Pepe, Aura, Hihi memes. So said another way, it's like I will just trade whatever is showing up in attention because this isn't just CT mentions, right? This is volume. So if something has a lot of volume and a lot of people talking about it, I just assume good things are either already happening or about to happen, rather than being like, oh, this ETH deep in LARP thing is going to really crush it. I mean, it's worked for Barry. I hope it works for XMW. I mean, that looks like a real team, but like in general, to me, it's memes. And like that's the beauty of this data set, right? Like it doesn't really, like we don't differentiate what the token is. Like our site has been full of memes for more than 6 months. So I think memes are a good place to be, not bad. Now new launch memes are a little bit harder because then you have nothing to gauge the project on. So you have to kind of look at like, okay, does it have a lot of attention? Does it have a lot of volume? Are there smart follows? What are people saying about it? But in general, I think memes are easier because you don't have stupid tokenomics working against you. If the dev leaves or whatever, someone will just CTO it, hopefully. I mean, you saw that with SCF. Like, it's kind of funny. SCF, the guy who led the CTO, I think, left, started his own coin, and you look at a chart of it and you'd have no idea. He sold like a couple $100K worth, and he was, he's like a pretty vocal guy. It's like that was sometime like in here. It's like no one cares. What percent are you trading from the data sets compared to wallet? I mean, the site is wallet tracking. Like, I don't track individual wallets anymore. And most of my favorite wallets kind of have left after the good periods on ETH went away. But I mean, the whole site, like the majority of the site is still wallet tracking, right? Like these balances are wallet tracking. But so what percentage data sets compared to wallet tracking? It's kind of hard to say. I mean, my number one thing to always get me throw on a trade is 0 to 5 days, 100K balance shows up. It's got volume. It's unique or funny. Like I didn't buy Misha. I wish I did, but it's like it was Vitalik's something. And I'm firmly against buying anything Vitalik because I just feel like they usually don't work, or Vitalik will find a way to ruin it. There was a time where Vitalik anything would do really well, but I just don't think we're there anymore. But yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully that answers your question. It's kind of a mix, right? Because I mean, we track wallets, but then we do a lot of different stuff. Anything else? Anyone? I mean, there's other things we're working on in the background, which is back testing. We just haven't completely gotten to it yet, or finished the work rather, but back testing custom alert filters on the alpha stream, and then once we add custom alert filters for the portfolio summary, we'll start back testing those and then actually see what is the best. I know just by watching it that 100K balances is kind of the best risk reward that we've ever had coming out of the site consistently. But once we start back testing all of the different potential alert parameters, we will come up with a way to kind of put those forward, along with their analytics of win rate, slugging percentage, etc. So that's another fun one in the works, along with adding Solana to early investors. I'm also working on trying to do a variation of this attention score, but it's just new tokens. I just don't know the best way to do it yet. Because new launches don't always show up in here. I mean, we have a tokenEDGE filter in here, but it doesn't really work the way the data is structured. But that would be pretty cool too if you had like a, imagine if this was, instead of multiple days, it was just a 24-hour view, and it would only show tokens, let's say like 3 days old or less, and you could just see the battle of the new launches and see what's getting attention. But anyway, that's coming. We've got a lot of stuff coming, and we've shipped a lot of stuff. I mean, most of these workflows, we didn't have a year ago, right? We didn't really have balances. We didn't have the attention score. We didn't have smart follows. Like, we've built all these things, which are all kind of variations of tools that already existed to give more value to you, the chainEDGE subscriber. Like, the amount of different tools in here, if you totaled up like what it would cost you monthly to get this, to get this attention score stuff, to get these pre-approvals, I mean, that's 1,000 plus 100 plus 400. I mean, you're talking like $1,500-$1,600 a month of value for $80. Like, it's kind of incredible. Anything else? Or else we'll just wrap it up there. All right. Well, no other questions. If you have questions, you can, if you're not already a chainEDGE sub, you can always just DM me on Twitter if you have questions. But if you are a sub, just come into the Discord. There's plenty of people in there to help you out. Community is stronger than ever, despite the last, 4 or 5 months of relative darkness. But things are looking up again, and it's going to be a fun fall and winter, I think. So stay safe out there. Have fun. Reach out if you need me, and I'll do another one of these in a couple weeks, especially if we have any new features.